Hi, welcome to the RPL Student Step-by-Step Webinars. In this session today we're going to be looking at the completion of the Recognition of Prior Learning Declaration. Now in our previous webinar we learnt to navigate around aXcelerate, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but we will just look at the information that leads up to our declaration. So we can click on the plan overview and it will give us a little bit of information there about the RPL course. And again we can click on the module overview and it will give us some further information. Now if you want to have a hard copy of the RPL kit, then you can certainly download that by clicking on this link here and it will come up at the bottom of your page. But please be guided by what your trainer says. They may well want you to access the resources specifically within aXcelerate rather than using the hard copy version. So please just see what your trainer says. Now here we are at our Recognition of Prior Learning Declaration. Now we can see here the progress. So on with this particular student, this student has accessed this previously because it says it's in progress. If it's not been accessed at all, it will look at like this with this grey button here saying ready to attempt. And we can back that up further with this little statement here that says it's already in progress. Now, just a word of warning, this declaration must be completed. It must be completed by you as the student. It must also be signed and marked off as satisfactory by your trainer for you to be able to access the rest of the course. So just to recap, this must be completed and signed by your trainer, and then it will open up the rest of the course for you to complete the RPL process. So let's click on this tab here to access the Learning Declaration. Now when we go in here we've just got a little bit of information, so it's telling us the following candidate declaration requires submitting to progress through the RPL process. Now I'm going to resume where our student was previously and we can begin the process. Now this is saying here to download and complete the following forms to commence the recognition of prior learning process. So we've got our RPL application form, so let's click on this link here. And the form will come up at the bottom of your screen, a Word document, and then we can complete that documentation. So to complete this online, we can click Enable Editing, and we can have a look at our form, and we can go through and complete all the relevant information. Now I don't particularly like this view here, so I'm going to go to View, I'm going to go to One Page, and I'd like it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to click on 100%. There we go. And now I can go down and complete this form. So I can put in all of my relevant information, so my personal details. I can also complete information about my current employment. Now, to be part of the Home Instead Academy, you do need to be employed with Home Instead and currently actively working. So please make sure you click the Yes button there and include the details of your franchise office where you work. Now this section here about further training, please make sure if you're including information about further training that it is only training that is relevant to the Certificate 3 in individual support. If it's not, if it's some other qualification, I don't know, construction or something like that, we don't really need to know about that. It's not relevant to the Cert 3. So a good indicator of something that might be relevant would be something like perhaps you've done some dementia care training with another organisation. You could certainly include that here. Or maybe a first aid or CPR certificate would certainly be relevant. Please make sure you go ahead here and also complete information about your trainer and contact details for your trainer. So generally that will be your trainer based at your franchise office. So once we've fully completed this form, we can click on the file, go down to Save As, and we need to make sure that we've put your own name as a student in. So I'm going to be Jane Doe, and this was my application form. There we go, and I am going to save that to my desktop. I'm going to press Save. Okay, now I can come out of that, so I'm just going to close that down. So I've done my application form. Now I now need to download the candidate submission cover sheet. Let's just click on that link there and it will come up at the bottom of my screen, and we'll just wait for the Word document to load. There we go. And again I'm going to press Enable Editing, and I'm going to go ahead and complete this Word document. Okay, so let's read through what this is actually asking. So, candidate declaration. By signing below, I declare that I have been advised of the recognition assessment process and understand my rights and responsibilities as a recognition candidate. Please be aware you can completely have a look at the student handbook again in the resources section if you need to look at your rights and responsibilities. This portfolio is my own and contains no material written by another person except where due reference is made. I am aware that a false declaration may lead to the withdrawal of a qualification or statement of attainment. I have organised and named the files, as we've just suggested, putting your name in the front, and I am submitting according to the instructions provided, and I am aware that the Home Instead Academy will not assess work that cannot be clearly identified and may request the work to be resubmitted according to the correct process. I am aware that the Home Instead Academy has a policy of checking the validity of qualifications that I submit as evidence, as well as the qualifications evidence of parties who verify my performance or observable skills. I give my consent for the Home Instead Academy to contact these parties for verification purposes. I hereby give permission for my Home Instead Academy to contact my third-party supervisor for verification of my currency, and I choose to be assessed at this time. So if you can go ahead and include your name, so you can click on the link here and write in your full name. You can also type in your name here or download the form and sign it. The reason why you're able to type here is because there is actually another section in a second where you actually need to sign with your mouse online. Please include the date as well. Once you've done that, we're going to go ahead and save again. So we're going to press File, Save As, and I'm going to click on the front of the naming convention there, and I'm just going to pop in Jane Doe. There we go, and I'm going to save it again to my desktop. There we go. Okay, that's all saved. Let's shut that down. So, I've done this first section here. It now says complete and submit the following forms in the submission portal below. So it's the same forms as above. So just a strange quirk of aXcelerate, you do need to put something in this written text box. Otherwise, unfortunately, your trainer will not actually be able to see your submission. So I'm just going to pop our students' initials, Jane Doe, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and upload those files that we've just completed. Now, any of the file types here you can upload. But generally we prefer Word or PDF documents. So I'm going to click on Browse Files, and I'm already on my desktop and I can see there's my two applications that I had. So I'm going to click on that one. I'm also going to hold down my Shift button and take that second one at the same time rather than doing it twice. And I'm going to press Open. And you can see those forms now have now been uploaded, and it's saying that that's complete. Now I do need to make sure that I've completed everything. So I filled in my name there, I filled in my two resources, the application and the candidate submission cover sheet, and I need to make sure that I've pressed save. If you don't press save, you will lose it, unfortunately. Now I've pressed save, if I want to leave this at any time, I can come back to exactly where I was, and my uploaded documents will still be there. I want to go ahead and submit this now though, so I'm going to press submit assessment. And I've now got a further declaration. So this one is where I can actually sign online. So using your mouse, you just hold down the button and just sign your life away. There we go, Jane Doe. Beautiful. And I'm going to press submit assessment. And there we go, I can now see that my assessment has been submitted, the recognition of prior learning declaration. And it's just given me some choices about where I want to go to now. I'm just going to exit this. And I just want to check. I'm not entirely sure. It says submitted here, but I just want to double check. So I'm going to use the breadcrumbs here and go back to my Certificate 3 homepage. And I'm going to go to Assessment Results. And I can now see here that there it is. It's sat there. It's been submitted. So it's waiting for my trainer to open this up. And then once that's been marked, I can go back in. And I can then access the rest of my course. So there we go, we can see on our learning plan as well, been submitted and it's waiting for marking. So don't forget, you can't access the rest of these until this has been marked as satisfactory.